Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tom Worth Jr. And Trump's latest attempts at coercion, that's what he's built his entire career, his entire life on, is paying people off to do his bidding or to keep himself out of trouble. Continue to center around DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. We'll check in with Target Corporation later in this video to see how that's going with them. What happens when you do go along with him. Spoiler, it's not good at all. So don't do it. But there is a company, a foundation, the Python Software Foundation. Python is a widely used computer language, but its foundation, there's 14 members and they're dispersed around the world. It's diverse, it's international, and they have an annual budget of about $5 million, the article said. And the NSF, the National Science Foundation, has dangled a $1.5 million grant to them because they need to do some security vulnerability patching, and it would help them tremendously. When you've got a $5 million budget and you've got a government grant, which you're not going to have to repay, it's a grant of $1.5 million, it would be the largest grant that they had ever received. Why did the NSF do this? Well, it's the National Science Foundation. They do this because they're interested in science, you would presume, but no, it's not why they did it. The NSF included terms such as affirming the statement that we, quote, do not and will not, during the term of this financial assistance award, operate any programs that advance or promote DEI, bracket, diversity, equity, and inclusion, close bracket, or discriminatory equity ideology in violation of federal anti-discrimination laws. This restriction would apply not only to the security work directly funded by the grant, but to any and all activity of the PSF as a whole. So this is a $1.5 million coercion, bribery, whatever you want to call it, by Trump using the government's National Science Foundation to pay off this software foundation, to not have any DEI. Not only now, it says during the term of the grant, but they can claw back the funds. So even if this company, which said they would never do this, they would never do such a thing, even if this foundation agreed to those terms and took the money and, you know, a while down the road did something that in the nebulous language of Trump's NSF did something in violation of their anti-DEI efforts, they can come back and take the whole $1.5 million back. Money that would already have been spent by this software foundation. So in effect, it keeps them from operating as they need to operate, I don't know, in perpetuity. I don't know how long the deal would last. They rejected the deal, obviously, which was painful for them because they could really use that $1.5 million grant to plug up some security holes in their software, which is used all over the world by, I mean, just countless projects and individuals and companies. Python is everywhere. And it doesn't have like a Microsoft or an Apple that maintains it. It's people, it's open source. So this organization, this Python Software Foundation, was encouraged to take this action and reject the money by another group called the Carpentries, which had the exact same 1.5 million grant dangled in front of them back in June with the exact same anti-DEI terms. And the Carpentries, it's a organization that supports scientific researchers. They rejected it. So people are realizing that, yes, you can stand up to the Trump administration and his buyout attempts. On the other hand, you have companies like Target, whose leadership just went right along with it. Just, you know, earlier this year, end of last year, rolling back all of their DEI initiatives. Target was seen as a DEI friendly place by not only its employees, but its customers. It's part of the appeal to Target. You felt like you were supporting a good company, but they were one of the earliest to just jump right in line and roll back all DEI efforts. And the consumer backlash was swift, and it was extraordinary, and it is ongoing. This is an article from last week. Target to cut 1,800 corporate roles in turnaround effort. So this is what happens when you go along with Trump, when you go against American greatness, what makes us America, the fact that we are diverse, the fact that we are inclusive, the fact that we strive to give everyone a fair shot. When you go against those very American principles, Americans are not going to like you. They're not going to want to associate with you. They're not going to want to buy your products, shop in your stores. They're going to have to lay off 1,800 corporate roles. This is not the people in the stores. This is just at their, these layoffs are typically not what's happening at companies. Usually retail companies would take it out on their retail force, their staffing at their stores. They'd have to lay off way more people because those people aren't making as much money as the corporate people do. But in this case, Target is in desperate need to cut costs. So it comes at a time, and they have a new CEO, comes at a time its share price has lagged rivals, and the company has faced backlash for pulling back from its diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. Will affect about 8% of its corporate workforce. So this is a guy, this new CEO, he's been with the company for 20 years. People were not happy that the guy who went along with Trump was ousted and replaced with this other 20-year guy. They didn't really think he would bring the changes necessary. So the company whose share price is down nearly a third this year, and the stock market's been doing okay this year. It started out horribly with all the tariffs, but has come back in some sectors like AI and technology. So the shares are down 30% this year, 33%, and has 11 consecutive quarters of weak or declining comparable sales, and faces U.S. tariff pressure on foreign imports. So their costs are going up as well, thanks to Trump. He is wrecking everything. He is wrecking the economy. He is wrecking science. He is wrecking computer security. He is wrecking everything. There are individuals such as Doug Ford, the Premier of Ontario, who are standing up to him. There are foundations that are standing up to him. There are companies that are standing up to him. Not nearly enough, but they're out there. And as we see more and more failures of companies because they're going along with him or because they're subject to his tariffs, more and more people will be forced to stand up to it. I would think that at some point, rather than fire all of its employees, Target would just have to stand up and say, we have to go back to what we were and not be Trumpers. But to this point, they're not doing that. So continue boycotting Target if you are so moved. I know I'm still not shopping at Target, and it always feels great. Okay, that's it for this morning. Hope everyone's doing well. I think this afternoon we can get into a little bit more of the foreign policy failures of him right now on his Asia tour, and also in the Middle East with the temporary stoppage of his Israeli-Palestinian ceasefire. We all knew, I said this Sunday actually, that we know that this is not going to last. It's already not lasting. He is twisting arms, but we can get into that in this afternoon's video, and we'll talk later.